Well, Rise is a heavy hitter. If you catch him off guard, he's got a glass shin and he'll go down. So you have to be careful in those scenarios, especially with Kanata on your back. Though, a team that is on the back of pretty much everybody in this lobby right now is Vert and Walkers. Unfortunately, Walkers was unable to hit the hammer with Vert, so gonna have to leave Vert behind. And so this could be a tough rotate for them, but so many tough rotates coming through. All these players just trying to rotate, trying to get in the zone, and the hammers are out.
I don't know if you saw it there a moment ago. I was looking up in the sky. It wasn't a bird. It wasn't a plane. It was Pledge trying to take that high ground very, very early on. We've called it so many times. 6 moving zone might be a little too early for some, but not others. It's Kanata and Agers. They're trying to terrorize anybody on that mid layer, but a sneak attack from the back. That's a Vive and users. Put the damage and just completely get out of there. They didn't like their position, and now they're looking to grab more.
Looking to grab more, though, is TK and Pledge. They continue to hold the high ground and continue to remain dominant. You see them really doing a good job of solidifying height and getting enough distance up in the air that hammers won't be a problem. But a problem is NAE here in this lobby still, as he's looking to hunt down any other players looming close.
Oh, these are the secrets. These are the secrets he was telling us about. A huge flank on the reciprocal. Revives is there, and he gets pickaxed back to the lobby by NAE. He said he had something up his sleeve. Well, hopefully he didn't play his whole hand right there, right before our very eyes. As Quanti, we saw him living on 1 HP early on in the game. He has turned this boat around as well.
So many players still in it. NAE holding it down, Quanti holding it down, and Pledge and TK on height, holding it down. This game continues on, though, as Quanti's dropping to the low ground, looking to actually get a refresh. No, unfortunately, it's not going to be anything, but does rekindle with his teammate and still maintains the low ground very, very well.
Right now, decision-making is going to be so important. You saw everybody dive off of that cliff. If it pulls back, if it pulls north, if it even pulls far east, you better have the resources or a shockwave hammer to back you up, as NANI's trying to use one of those two, flying through the sky, trying to keep his game alive. And that is exactly how you do it as a Vive, just waiting, hiding, has some mats, trying to go for even more. His teammate did go down. Anything is better than nothing, especially with a flying shot to the sky like that. Cease never touched the ground.
A Vive cleaning up Cease in the sky as Quanti and Scare still on the low ground, still holding it down. You see them bush play using Bush Warrior. Super smart. Also, though, my gosh, TK and Pledge from the 6th zone to the 8th zone still have height.
Everybody going through a roller coaster of emotions, both literally and physically here, as they're going up mountains, down mountains, or even go past the side of a mountain here. As Walker and Vert, they're trying to hunt. The Apex Predators are trying to prove so in this lobby, bouncing around. Down goes Walker, down goes Vert. That's Death and Tahi staggering themselves backside his zone and figures out a way to get even more eliminations.
The first time we've seen them in the lobby, and of course they're picking up eliminations. 5 eliminations on the board, and they're still in it. They're still looking, they're still hunting, and Accept looks like he's almost the next one as TK and Pledge actually pick up the elimination.
Only very few actual duos left in this lobby. Trashy went down. Pump's trying to keep it going. They have 7 eliminations as a team, 5 as an individual. Aviv is right there with them with 4 eliminations. Both of these players are solos, though. This is going to be the tricky part of when you try to make your move as a solo, because we already know TK and Pledge are ready, watching with the eagle eye in the sky for anybody to try to contest them.
Can anybody contest them? I know they want to, but can anybody do it? Pump as a solo player, probably not going to be able to do it, despite having the hammer in hand. As Scare, another solo player left in this, picks up the elimination onto Aviv, and now is feeling good, feeling spicy, and looking for Pump.
Oh, it's looking so good right now as Scare goes through 2 different individuals towards the end game, but it's Death. It's Tahi who are right in front. He's able to get the down onto 1. Pledge and TK, this is their moment to take advantage. A 2v1 situation, but Death, he gets the knock onto 1. 1v1, Death versus TK with everything on the line. He just has 1 chug splash left to use.
There's no way this is happening, folks. TK had every advantage in the book, and he takes it as he walks away with the first win of the day. So much still to unfold here. NANI and Larson on the low. Oh man, this is gonna be a tough rotate there for Braids and Co. Looking at the way that this is situated by themselves, even though they are ahead of zone and they maybe even have a little thing called forecast augment, they are going to be in trouble because teams are starting to rotate in their direction, and all it takes is one team to slip into your box and cause some disruption for you in this game.
There's so many different elevation changes, especially on this north side of the map. You have to be careful. Kanata and Age is putting the pressure on the Snake. Big bush bomb coming out. trying to at least cloud his position, but a huge flank. Aegis, Kanata trying to survive. Aegis gets himself out, Kanata soon to follow. They have just escaped a nightmare right before our very eyes, before reuniting on the front side of zone. Not only able to survive, but get themselves that sweet spot towards the front.
Narrowly getting away, but still in it. That's all that matters as Revive, it accidentally falls there from the high ground, leaving Reciprocal up on height by himself there for a moment. Bugha's still in this though, and it looks like there it is. The Danger Hero augment actually going to play huge for Bugha as he's going to take some minis, but this team realizing that he's there. It is NAE and Larson gonna pick up Bugha, and that's a huge elimination for them.
They got to that box site. Which way did he go? Which way did he go, Larson? He went up, and they found him rather quickly. 2 eliminations overall. Larson, shield getting drained. Down goes NAE. This is not a good look, but Larson is up for the challenge. You can see he does have a shockwave hammer. He has some minis to make sure he has at least enough shield to scrape himself through this chaotic endgame.
So much still left in this game as Kanata and Aegis are holding it down. One of the, probably the only powerhouse duo left together here as Cole left as a solo player, going to try to hold it down without Acorns. Walkers, though, in it with Vert. This is another duo that can easily walk away with the win if they play this correctly as they push to the front of zone.
This is going to be a huge opportunity for Walker and Vert to find everybody staggering themselves back towards the backside of zone. They don't have plenty of resources, so they need some sort of refresh, some mats to work with. They spot a couple players going down. They're going to get greedy for it. They're going to try to clean that one up. Shots continue to fire in. Walkers needs to get out. He doesn't have HP, but Verve with a shockwave hammer to save the day yet again. These are the moments that make these players championship material.
The team chemistry is off the charts as Verts and Walkers stay in it, but Pump picking up a huge elimination there with Trashy, but Revives, Reciprocal still holds it down from the high ground as now Walkers is down and out. Pump taking a lot of damage there too, so this game continues to change in front of our very eyes.
Team just trying to scrounge up the Siphon mats. Anything is better than nothing. So everybody is not on that ultimate low ground because they know they have to go up to different elevations. This is going to be a huge moment for players like Bryce and Chubbs. Plenty of mats to work with, going to the front side of zone, and they have that rock right in front of them to refarm as well. You called them a powerhouse duo. Kanata and Aegis trying to do the same, and they find Mason slipping. Huge elimination and refresh to keep themselves alive.
Staying in this is Kanata and Aegis as they challenge for height. Going up here, Kanata could potentially hold it, and he does. He's gonna have high ground, but no, the hammer play comes out, and him and Aegis both drop down to reality as they try to hold it, and Kanata is down.
I think I've seen this episode before. Reciprocal and Rise trying to hold on to the high ground. It didn't work out for him in the episode that I watched. But this is a chance for a new season. This is a chance for new life. And this is their chance. Now he's a solo. Aegis, Kanata are no longer there. Pump is a solo as well. So many players living on just scraps, unable to really find that perfect moment to strike.
I mean, look, they're trying to take this moment. They're trying to make this moment, but Pump still is a solo player in it, trying to do something. Revives on the height, still losing his teammate is big, but high ground is even bigger as Pump goes for it, knocks him down, gets him still in this game, and another shockwave play comes out, but no, Pump is down. It is a bit of a 2v2 situation here. Bryce going to get an elimination under one. It's a 2v1 now. Bryce wants to finish it. The Chubbs looking for it, and a player goes in the air to Vive to finish it up as Chubbs walks away the victor of game number 2.
A couple teams down below, getting that piece control to go over, not getting greedy. That's something that any duo in this lobby can take note of. Realize the situation you're in. Just because you're down or above Surge, it's not the end of the world. 170 above for them. You see the cow catchers coming out, trying to break through the builds as fast as possible as Pump and Trashy try to do the same thing. But take note of this. Even though with all those slap berries, he's not sharing any with Pump because he realized it would be a little bit of a waste because even if he uses them all, Pump could still take one shot and go down as Bert lands a huge blow onto Trashy. Now's the time to pull out the slap berries, but you need a moment to stabilize. In comes the return fire from Trashy. Down goes Pump, and now he's left as a solo with the only hopes to collect points in this game.
And Trashy doing a good job of holding it down here. He does connect a huge shot, but no, Trashy is down and out. Clicks and Donnie, though, like we mentioned before, set up for success. Weak, though, they need to get back together, especially with Clicks. 1 HP in a dream. They need to stabilize here if they want to win this game.
feed is just going wild. Down goes Donnie, down goes Clicks, but up goes Acorn across the land. Realize the different elevations, and it pulls down across the mountain again. Acorn not waiting for anybody, not even his teammate. He knows he has to be the guiding light to better pastures if he's gonna come out on top as Clarity. A quick challenge for the high ground. Doesn't like what he sees. Revives and reciprocal again. I love this team and their ability to go after high ground even if they don't come out on top.
Look, Jackson and D-Roller are set up here, using the hammer to get ahead. It's not going to be enough, though. You see the elevation changing. This is all but over for a lot of these teams that are running low on material. If you don't watch your back, unfortunately, you're going to get caught off guard. That's what we see there from Jackson as he takes quite a bit of damage. Acorn and Cole still in this game. Now both simultaneously using the hammer to get ahead of zone. This is brilliant from them, as so many other teams still find themselves falling behind.
Yeah, bypassing all that chaos is huge, and causing some is even better as Miro finds C slipping yet again, but running out of mats and resources. All he got was that gifted from the siphon and the refresh, so he's gonna have to look for one more, especially now he is bone dried, similar to Aviv, who has just a little bit more to work with, but not much. Both of these players are gonna have to look for some sort of a refresh to keep their game alive.
In the interim, Clicks, Donnie, and Pump have all gone down, which means a lot of our top teams are out of this one, and Aviv fighting for the top spot now. Unfortunately, gonna go down there in that moment to Miro. The story of Miro begins here in game number 3 as D-Roller is now out.
It's only a matter of time for Reciprocal and Revise to find the success they're looking for, as Acorn and Cold, they're not after that high ground, they're after the low ground, and anybody that crossed their path, including Clarity, who goes down, but a superstar team right in front of them, including last game's victory royale winners. This one is stacked like pancakes.
Stacked like pancakes, ready to eat, as Acorn and Cold are hungry. They're looking for every bite that they can take as the damage continues to come through. Rise ends up going down. Iamzo 1 HP in a dream. Unfortunately, 4 HP is not going to do it for him as he now goes down as well. Revise, though, on the high ground, loses his teammate again. Despite them having height several times, Reciprocal or Revise continues to lose a teammate in these high-pressure situations. They need to stay calm, as now they've taken Acorn out.
This is going to be huge. They get the Shockwave Hammer, trying to get themselves right back in and right back to the top. Just enough mats to try to make the challenge happen. That's Claw looking up. He's a solo as well. A huge tag. Drop down to 50 HP. Drop down to the lobby altogether. Miro is one of the last players alive. 1v1 against Revise, who's held onto the high ground through and through. I said it's only a matter of time, and that time is ticking for Revise, going against one of the best that is on the low ground. Big bush bomb coming off. Miro's IQ over 1,000 to try to keep himself alive and in the game, but the challenge comes out. The battle is inevitable. Shockwaving up. Miro wants to end this right here, right now. 2 great shots. He has to reload, and it cost him everything. Revive steals it away. Execution for them.
Execution indeed, but so many teams still left in it. One of those in the elimination feed I just saw moments ago is Pump, meaning that one of our top 5, or a few of our top 5 teams still yet in this game and still can do some things. But with Trashy here in this game as well, that means they're a full duo, which is going to be a force to reckon with as this lobby continues to move forward. It is zone 6 here, folks, meaning the action is starting to pick up right now.
I don't know. In previous games, we see 6 zones too soon, and with the zone pulling up and down the elevations, I think it just might be, but from 18 splashes to 15, Kanata could stagger himself in and out. He could wait for the last possible moment to rotate, but Shockwave Hammer causing chaos, forcing him to reposition 2 different times in a row. You see Aegis trying to get box to box, looking for every opportunity, including low on a suscript. Donnie and Clicks trying to do the same thing, but they're not in that same sort of comfortability. Down on heals, down on shields, and having no mats, this is going to be a huge opportunity for Clicks and Donnie to force a refresh situation.
Yeah, it looks like neither of them have material, so they're going to have to figure out something and figure it out fast. But for Acorn and Cold, they found themselves in a pretty rough spot not moments ago, but now they're in a much better place. But a team that's also in a great place is Rise and Iamzo, still in this, just looking to play this together as a team, and it does look like Clicks going down the elimination feed. Donnie going down as well, and Trashy and Pump looks like going to be able to clean up an Elim onto User. I mean, this team is just continually so active.
So much builds to break through. They're not going to find success on that first hammer rotation, and it costs Trashy everything. He gets knocked down. leaving the world of pressure on the shoulder of Pump, who's already have 3 eliminations, but a huge flank and a huge shot being fired off by who knows it might have been, as they probably shockwave hammered themselves to safety. He's only going to be able to get himself to about 75 effective HP and shield, so if he's looking to take the victory royale, he needs a siphon, and he needs it now.
Look, you want to talk about a team making a comeback? It's Noxy and Ocus. This duo struggling in the trailer park now win off spawn and find themselves on high ground. So many teams left in it, including Booga. The amount of points he's putting up as a solo player is astonishing.
If this doesn't motivate Peterbot, I don't know what will. Letting him know I am still the player that you guys saw win that World Cup championship, as Kanata's trying to be that devastating player to the lobby as well, using 3 of his splashes. Agers is still down. They can splash, they can shockwave, they can get themselves back in and give them a second chance at life, just like Cold is trying to do the same thing. He lost Acorn just seconds ago. They have 4 eliminations, 180 points. Can they pull this off?
Can they pull it off indeed, as so much is still unfolding? Ocus, Noxy on the high ground, pressuring down. Iamzo, one of those players getting pressured, finds himself now ahead of zone. Unfortunately, losing Rise simultaneously. He needs to be careful. No material left, and he needs to do something, and something fast.
Cold goes down into the top 10. Booga, Miracle on Fortnite Street. 3 odd way to survive. A bad shockwave hammer drop. Doesn't get an opportunity to recover. Forced to use the Shadow Bomb. This is a perfect scenario, though. With the Shadow Bomb, he can try to bounce up and down these covers without being seen too much, since he has no resources, has no builds. He can try to sneak up on anybody, even spotting Ocus towards the backside, making sure that he doesn't get stuck up on throughout all this destruction.
Huge play from him, but unfortunately is going to go down to D-Roller as he cleans that up. Booga out. Iamzo, though, still in it. Even despite losing Rise here, he's going to continue to play on, but no, he goes down as well. So much is happening. D-Roller, Jackson, still in this, getting the elimination on to Noxy, meaning they are not holding high ground anymore. But for this team, they need to play patient, they need to play careful, and they need to play together.
And they are the only duo remaining, so playing together is the only recipe for success. But Ocus has the high ground. Rokane floating slowly but surely behind. Shockwave Hammer tries to contest. That's 4 more points for Ocus, and a second place guaranteed as Jackson and D-Roller get the elimination, the victory royale, and he's going to be hoping for somebody to get caught slipping. That way he can take advantage, but the pressure has been turned onto him, trying to stabilize himself, using what little resources he has left before he shockwaves himself once more to the front side of zone. This is where he needs to look back and try to find the refresh while all that chaos is going down. You got Acorn and Cold, who have the high ground, and Reciprocal is right there, 1 layer below.
You love to see it. Look, honestly, with Clicks and Donnie on low, Acorn and Cold on high, this is going to be the comeback story of the ages here in the second half of this competition, as Kanata and Agers find themselves to the front of zone.
Yep, it's going to be an opportunity for them, not only to take advantage, look back, and try to take down teams overall, but bumping up placement after placement to get themselves a top spot on the leaderboard. They box up a player. That's going to be Dukes, who goes down altogether. But Kanata, the trade is there. He is under siege. He gets dropped as well. Now it's all up to Agers, but all the heals, all the splashes were on Kanata.
This is a huge trade, to say the least. Will this player be able to pick up the splashes off Kanata? If not, Agers can get it, but no, Agers cannot get that. Those much-needed resources to stay in this, so he's going to have to work with what he has. Can he survive here as the game continues, though? Jack and Qua on the low ground, looking to press forward. You see him going for a team. Unfortunately, not going to be able to convert that. However, with Peterbot and Booga close by, this could be a quick and easy game for them.
They can rise with a solo, drop into the low ground, but in comes Yam, so they reunite when you need it most. Acorn going ahead and holding on to the high ground with Cold. Agers living with just a sliver of HP, box to box, right next to Noxy as well. Peterbot on your right side, under pressure as well. Good thing he has Booga to back him up, buying him time to regenerate as much shield, as much HP as possible. They realize these last 2 games mean so much, and they find elimination and a huge siphon to keep themselves moving.
If Booga and Peterbot are in the lobby, they are never down and out as the comeback story for these kids continue on. But for Donnie and Clicks, they're looking to do the same thing. They do not want to settle on the bottom half of the leaderboard. No, they want to be at the top. They want to continue to climb, and this game is doing it for them.
It's only a matter of time before they catch fire at the perfect moment, but they need a refresh. They need a siphon. They need mats, and they're grabbing at straws, trying to figure out how to make it work. You see Clicks going back into the zone, trying to grab what he can as Rise and Yamzo from low ground to a spot in the sky. They're doing so good, trying to play every scenario to perfection. Just a little bit of build, and you can see them pulling out the Shockwave Hammer, trying to save those to the last possible moment as Clicks and Donnie find a way in zone.
Huge for them. They don't have many resources to use, so they're going to need a refresh here in this moment. You see them looking for shots, trying to connect anything that they can. Clicks and Donnie just trying to survive, and now they need to go. Well, actually, they don't need to go up. It's other players needing to go up, and anybody that gets trapped by this elevation is unfortunately going to go down.
The one game, I don't talk about the different elevations. It's probably one of the most drastic for everybody in the lobby as Rise living with 10 HP. Clicks losing Donnie, trying to live as a solo. Every point here means so much as we're in our final 3 teams with Acorn and Cold holding on to the high ground. Clicks trying to cause destruction and madness, but he gets spotted out of position. That's Cold, who lands a crucial shot, going for the piece control, causing everything to come crumbling down for Clicks and Cold, and it ends up with the last 2 teams remaining.
I said it at the beginning of this FNCS season. I said Acorn and Cold were going to be the team to take it all, and they're doing just that. High ground, they got it. Pressure, they're doing it, and now Kwa and Jack need to be careful because Acorn and Cold look to finish it quick.
It's a perfect scenario for Kwa and Jock, though. Players have to come down off that mountaintop. And Cold is trying to put the pressure before they're forced to drop ultimate low. Not very many builds left. Shockwave Hammer trying to bring this game to a close. Cold takes about 75 damage out of zone, in zone. He's trying to do all he can. Now it's Acorn's turn to finish the job. 15 eliminations. It is going to become a nightmare for everybody involved. As Yamzo and Rise staggering themselves, biding their time. They don't have resources. They don't have mobility to get themselves to the front side of zone. So right here is a big moment. Rise gets a huge amount of damage chunked off. Trashy the same, living with just 52 HP, box to box, trying to get the piece control to go through. But that's Acorn who's living to tell the tale. Big Bush Bomb coming down. That is one way to save the day, but it only buys him a couple of seconds at that before Trashy strikes again.
And that's huge for Trashy. Remember, second place takes out first place. So that's going to be massive for them. Now, the story has flipped. Booga is down and out, meaning that Peterbot is the solo left here in game number 6. Will he be able to hold on? That's the question. Remember, he's aggressive. He can connect those shots. And for him, he's looking to do anything he can to put some points on the board.
Imagine how everybody feels right now with first place down and out. It probably puts a different type of pressure that they weren't expecting, but Miro sliding a little too far, taking too much damage than he wanted at that moment. Trashy the same, running out of his med miss. He has to go, but he gets taken down. The top of the leaderboard is opening up. It's anybody's for the taking, and Peterbot is trying to do the same. Move up those placings so that way they can have a phenomenal day tomorrow and possibly take it all.
It all comes down to this. Who's going to be taking day number 1 here as we finish off strong? Reciprocal, Revise, doing a good job here, staying alive, staying in it, and looks like not quite getting an elimination on the board, but no, Revise is out. Reciprocal, now a solo player, needs to hold it down.
See the zone pulling down towards the south yet again. This is going to be a lifesaver for everybody who doesn't have resources. It's going to be a little bit of a smoother sailing landscape for everybody involved as User using the Shadow Bomb to get to the front side of zone. Perfectly using those augments to suit the situation, especially since he lost a Beeve. It's all on his shoulders.
All down to this, these solo players just trying to hold on, get any points they can, but Peterbot is now out. Vert going to be able to pick that one up as Kanata and Agers, a single duo left here on the low ground. So many other teams in this still. Can Kanata and Agers hold the front of zone?
See Threats using the Falcon Scout, trying to let him know where everybody's positioned at. Doesn't want to get high ground snuck away from him at the last moment as Kanata finds Bizzle slipping. Along with Blake, that's a full duo out and gone. 8 more points to their total as continue to move up the leaderboard. This is a historic weekend for Kanata. Probably one of the best players in the game yet to win a championship. This could be his first.
This could be it. Will he continue to climb the leaderboard? Vert, also as a solo player, looking to connect any shot that he can. You see Users on the other side of that box right there, looming close by. Kanata, another huge knock there onto Bryce and the refresh he's going to need.
That was a huge find at a huge moment. Now if he can find a couple more seconds, mini, big pop, make sure that he's at the top of his game, and it's going to come down to Threats and Macwood having the high ground. User still trying to play the outside along with Chubbs, staggering himself back. Everything is going to be used here, but as the zone pulls farther and farther away, he doesn't have a Shockwave Hammer, so he has to go.
He has to go, and he has to go now. He cannot afford to spend too much time there in the Storm. Same thing for Kanata, though, as he keeps finding himself pushed in and out of Storm. But Aegis still in this. No, as I say it, Aegis goes down. Kanata weak here, challenging for the low ground. Will he be able to hold it down? No, struggling. He still finds himself outside of Storm, and it is all over in game number 6 for him.
Their run has come to an end. Shadows has just begun. 5 eliminations for him. 8 total as a team. They're trying to make sure this magic happens. This is one of those teams that I've seen in the Elite Cup solidify a 1v2. Shadow himself taking down Quan Jock. Can they mimic it here? They're one of the only duos remaining on the low ground, while Macwood and Threads, they have the high ground, and Shadows gets knocked down. He gets set down to the farthest you could possibly go on the low ground. 1v2 here to end the game. It's all up to Rapid with the world on his shoulders, going against a team who's not only been here before, but has solidified game win after game win with high ground. It's only a matter of time. Threats dropping down low. He wants to finish the job, but it's Macwood who seals the deal, and they receive that victory royale and valuable points to end the day.
A beautiful
is suddenly disappearing before our very eyes as Aegis and Kanata look to close it down. Trashy and Pump, though, as well.